Well, if you're like some of us, you still haven't figured out what to do for Valentine's Day. So we are serving up a delicious idea just for you latecomers.
Yeah, that's for sure. Chef Franco from Franco's Italy is here with a dish. You hear him right there. The dish that can actually satisfy your dinner desires.
Grazie, signore.
Wait.
Grazie.
Wow, talking about desire right out of the gate.
Well, very passionate.
What makes it passionate?
Yes.
Think about this: the sultriness, the silkiness, the sexiness.
Do you see how
of
he's
this
getting
dish.
into it, NBC? You see the hands, the arms.
I better step back. How do you say I love you in Italian? Thank you.
Amore, right?
Amore.
Amore. Yeah.
Amore.
It's, you know, ti amo. It's just like in sort of Spanish, the same way. But you know what? This is a dish of love. Valentine's Day, which I think I sent the information over to you,
Right.
is an Italian holiday. It's been for
Valentino, right?
Sure, Valentino. So Valentine was imprisoned, right? He's brought into the prison for helping the prisoners try to escape. Next thing you know, he falls in love with the jailer's daughter.
What a story.
They have this marvelous love affair between the bars.
Between the bars? Okay, wait a minute.
Well, not there, you know. But then they're going to put him to death.
What?
Oh.
He sends her a message that says, all in the love letter, how much he loves her, how much he wants to be with her, how much he's so sad that he can't be. And he signs it,
Yes.
Love, your Valentine. So now this is how it all came about.
Do you hear this? He's not only a great chef, but also a great storyteller as well. What don't you do, my friend?
And aren't Romeo and Juliet aren't they Italian?
From, yeah, that's
So there you go.
Northern Italian.
Boy,
area.
you guys love to have the faded lovers, the ones who
That's it. I
die.
tell you, there's a lot of drama
Wow.
there.
So what I put together for you today
Okay.
Yes.
is risotto con funghi. I'm using wild mushrooms, a little bit of white onion, some garlic, some white wine.
And is risotto rice or pasta?
Risotto is rice.
Okay.
It's made with a couple of different types, arborio rice or canarolo rice. So the rice is a short grain rice. It tends to hold it a little bit better. You see the creaminess?
Yes, it looks like
no
oatmeal.
No cream in there. No,
Really?
this is the starch from the rice.
Are you going to give me a spoon?
What did you
or
say
am I
about
just gonna...
oatmeal?
It looks like it has. I love
That's
oatmeal.
romantic for sure. Oatmeal for Valentine.
Hey, oatmeal is very good for your
I know.
heart.
So
I think oatmeal is
it has the
romantic.
wild mushrooms. And why do we use wild mushrooms?
Because we like a wild Valentine's Day?
Well, sometimes because, you know, shiitake happens. So here we go. We have some wild mushrooms.
Oh
in
my
this thing.
gosh,
We
this
have,
is really
isn't this
good.
marvelous? But what really caps the dish, what really makes it work, is the dragoncello, the tarragon.
Yes.
Now, that tends to be a sort of a French type
Is it?
spice. That's parsley.
Oh,
So we've already put all the tarragon in there. But it imparts sort of this French taste to this, which is, by the way, was brought down from France, brought back to Italy. All these
proving the
cuisines are
Italians love the
They do,
French.
absolutely.
Okay, so is this a side dish
No,
that you
this would be
serve?
considered this actually would be considered a primi piatti or a first dish.
Really? Oh, like an appetizer.
Not really. So you have antipasti, right, which is your
Let
appetizer.
the man talk. In other words, NBC, please.
You could have anything you want. We're going to call this an
And that's
appetizer. We're going to
parsley,
call
by
this
the way,
anything
yes.
you want.
Okay.
So you have primi piatti, which is when you eat dinner in Italy, big long course, 7
Yes,
course
I've
meals
done
for
that.
lunch and a relatively short one for dinner, right? So this dish would be considered a primi piatti, followed by an entree. Okay. Now, more and more in Italy, we're finding that these types of dishes become the entrees. Okay, just because of Americanization and things,
Right.
So risotto, pasta, those types of things, they'll
Okay.
tend to be
About how
This
much
is
wine
really-
are you using in this?
just a splash. Just a splash.
The alcohol
splash.
burns
Yeah.
off before you make some
No,
crack.
I mean literally
Was it?
like maybe 2 tablespoons.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Y'all know he was
Yeah.
going to make a crack.
And it does.
We don't know
Okay,
that.
so how do we make this divine dish? Let's
so
forget
what
the
takes-
history for a
What
minute.
takes the time for risotto is this part of it here. We actually have to get our broth, whether it's vegetable broth, and I think the recipe you have online might be our seafood risotto. But vegetable broth, seafood, seafood broth, that type of thing, we want to have this hot. If it's not hot and you mix it with this, you're going to have problems with it. So the first step,
Okay.
very simply, is olive oil, a little bit of garlic. Remember, it's Valentine's Day, a little bit. all right?
Well,
So
if everybody
we got you.
eats
So
it, it's okay.
It's okay.
got you. Okay.
So we're going to saute a little bit of garlic, a little bit of white onions, and then we're going to add our rice to the oil mix, coating the rice.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
add it, so we coat the
Right.
rice.
We want each grain to be coated with that olive oil and garlic mix.
I have heard risotto is hard to get right.
It is. It's
so
almost
how do you-
impossible in a restaurant just because of the time.
Oh, okay. So how do you do it at home so that it's nice and creamy?
Again, this
'Cause
will
is
take
good.
about 45 minutes to make, and it's a very slow process. So what we're doing first, after we've sort of kind of sautéed those rice grains, is we're going to add our broth to this, our vegetable broth to this, about 2 cups at a time, decreasing the amount you're going to add to it until you get this creaminess. Now what happens is the starch from the rice starts to come off of it, creates the creaminess.
Okay.
You don't add cheese, you don't add, you can
'Cause this
add
is
it.
so creamy.
You can
It
add the
is. It
cheese, you
really
can
is.
add a little bit of butter if you'd like to, some people do. But this really stands on its own, right?
This
so
is
as you
so
add it
excellent.
slowly, you're
Did
gonna-
you put
you're
all
gonna
the
have this dish.
slow steps in the recipe? We'll
Yes.
put this on Facebook
Yes,
for you.
we did. We did.
Cool. And
It's
then when do you
so
add the
good.
mushrooms?
Thank you.
So
So
good.
the mushrooms will go in just about the same time as you're going to put the onions and the garlic in. You want to get
okay.
your rice sautéed first, then you're going to add your mushrooms.
And do you
Now,
saute the mushrooms and onions first?
I don't
separately?
saute the mushrooms. I do the onions and the garlic
Oh,
first
okay.
because I want the mushrooms to stay
Okay.
very, very white looking, very creamy looking, right? You don't want them to be caramelized.
But anyway,
So that's what it is.
ideal for Valentine's Day
It is.
any day.
It is.
All right.
Yeah.
Chef, thank you.
I love it.
Oh, you guys are the fun.
Do you?
I do.
That's
Even
it.
with tarragon
Yeah. That's what?
or parsley or whatever the heck
All right.
it is.
We have
be
our
right back.
dessert too for you.